maybe you're all wondering why we're including so many foreign cities in our Oscar party. And the truth is, all of us in show business are part of one big family. And part of our family is in London right now, having a very British late-night supper at the very ritzy Ritz Hotel on Piccadilly. And they're waiting to announce the award for art direction. And they're our good friends, Glenn Close and Mr. Mel Gibson.
Thank you, Billy. And greetings from Great Britain, whose movie industry has given us more Academy Award winners than any country outside the United States.
Glenn and I are honored to present the first Academy Award ever given on this side of the Atlantic, or outside of Southern California for that. The nominees for the best achievement in art direction are:
For The Abyss, art direction by Leslie Dilley, set decoration by Anne Couljon.
For The Adventures of Baron Munchausen, art direction Dante Ferretti, set decoration by Francesca Lo Schiavo.
For Batman, art direction by Anton Furst, set decoration by Peter Young.
For Driving Miss Daisy, art direction by Bruno Ribeo, set decoration by Crispian Salas.
And for Glory, art direction by Norman Garwood, set decoration by Garrett Lewis.
May we have the envelope, please?
Taken out of the box. Thank you.
Thank you.
Right. And the Oscar goes to...
Anton Furst for Batman. And set decoration, Peter Young.
Me instead of Jack Nicholson? I love it. I mean, that's great. He made my sets look so small. To Tim, obviously, to John and Peter for their incredibly competent and wonderful spirit for the producing of it, and to the Bat Gang, you know, the A1 team I work with. But this is mine anyway. Peter's over there, Peter Young.
I came up here with you.
Oh, you're there. Big kiss.
You have no idea how happy I am the satellite worked.
In fact, much of the picture was designed around images and settings that in themselves became characters in the film. Burton wanted Gotham City to look as if hell had erupted from the sidewalks. And so here, on a carefully guarded lot at Pinewood Studios outside of London, was built a monumental essay in ugliness. The Gotham City set cost $2 million to build, and it's the size of a small amusement park, larger even than the Main Street area of Disneyland. But that's where the comparison stops. This view of an urban disaster area was cooked up for Burton by a graduate of London's Royal Academy of Art, Anton Furst, who created an architect's nightmare.
That was the intention, to maintain this completely bleak, miserable town and start as a background. So we were gone to sort of grey stone, brown stone, concrete. That was very much the finishes we were going for. And you can see... We tried to imagine going back in New York 100 years and imagining how it might have developed had there been no city planning, had there been no authorities to...
To heighten the nightmarish effect that Burton wanted, many of the buildings are based on real designs that don't mix. This boilerplate look by Japanese architect Shin Takamatsu wound up fronting Gotham City's museum. A cathedral by Spain's Antonio Gaudí was transplanted to a location off Gotham Square, and the works of American architect Louis Sullivan were mixed in along the avenues, dwarfed by massive steel footings.
I think a lot of it, I'm sure, was Anton Furst, who was an incredible, dark, interesting character. If you looked at Anton, you know, he could have played a part in Batman very easily, well, as could Tim Burton. So you had these two guys, and you had Roger Pratt, who's a wonderful photographer. I guess really kind of balancing the two out a little bit, you know, because Anton would go off and crazy ideas that sometimes weren't possible. His team were bringing back a bit. Tim had really wonderful ideas. He knew exactly the look he wanted.
We just knew that from the whole feel of the film that we were into, which is this forbidding, masked character, the knight look, you know, that we'd have sort of medieval elements in it, you know, the sort of knight in armour feel to it, and then go for sheer brute force violence.
Don't kill me, man! What are you? I'm Batman.
It's always important to me with these kind of extreme characters to surround them in a setting, you know, which they belong. So I always like to think of sets as an extension of the characters.
He imagined it was hell had erupted through the pavements and just carried on growing.
when I first started talking about like the street, it was like, how many extras do we need? I mean, you know, it could have been anywhere from 200 to 5,000, and I had no idea. I mean, one time I took a drawing and I started to draw little people in on it, so I could try to count them all to see how many people I might need, but that didn't.
Anton said, what part of the movie would you like to do? And I said, I'd like to be involved with the best prop ever made for any movie, and that's the Batmobile. And he says, you got it. And that's what I did.
The design of the Batmobile was Anton Furst's baby, really. He had been thinking about this probably 4 months before I even joined the project, and he had rough sketches of it. Ford was bidding for it at one time, and I was very nervous they were going to get it, but they couldn't do it in a time factor. They wanted 6 months. We built it in 14 weeks, which is quite a feat.
John Evans, who was special effects, decided we'd build it onto an existing old car. But what we had to do, of course, to get the design of it, and Nigel Phelps with Anton came out with pencil lines, and then I would draw it up, and we got a modeller in who made a little moquette, like a little clay model. And then Anton and Tim would come down, look, because it was an important thing for the film. They'll make it a bit longer here, do this, do that with it. And we eventually come with the final thing, and they said, that's it, that's what we're going to do.
We both kind of went, yeah, you know, because it made us kind of laugh because it was tough, but it was kind of perverse. It had a weird quality to it that I can't quite put my finger on, but it still had the bat kind of motif to it, but something else, just an aggressive thing.
The first thing, most important thing, is to come up with a design that works from the outside. Then you can deal with the practicalities of, like, you know, how to get into it, you know, what's driving it, you know, how to get flames out of it. All of those things, they're a logical part of the process.
It's everything that a young boy would just love to drive.
And on the main set, all the streets were watered down every time they shot. So you got a lot of reflection to start with. And although we'd made the streets shiny, we decided that we would really overdo it, and we covered the whole street with oil. We've got 4 cameras on that shot. And the problem that I have is that Batwing now has got to continue down the street and crash onto the cathedral steps.